One like, one watching. So you have to clear your throat. You have to clear your throat because you have to project the voice. It's crucial. Dr. Lecter, happy Friday, bro. No day is happy. I'm in a deep depression. But thank you, Raging Cajun. And Dr. Lecter for showing up. I'm just getting, you know what it probably is? The reason that I'm finding, I don't know why the hell I'm not even sick. I don't know why I'm so congested. Hold on a second. Sorry, I came on air unprepared. Just give me a second. Oh, as Bradley Noel said, Lord knows I'm weak. Won't somebody get me off of this reef? Two viewers, it'll go up, it'll go up. I wanted to come on, very short video, maybe 15 minutes at most. I got a lot of stuff to do. But I'm just so pissed off at the amount of trolls that I've seen polluting, and that's the word, polluting, Gramps and Jujubot and my channel, and now they're starting to figure out Blackie Fitzpatrick and Harmony and Harley Girl and all of them. Raina 4321. So the whole point of this short video is I want to ask the question, and I know the answer is obvious. I know the answer is obvious. I'll say it again. I know the answer is obvious. But it's like, what makes you become a troll on YouTube? It's like we all cultivate our own environments. We just want to be left alone. And hey, there's probably a lot of left-wing, I'm not a Republican, you guys know that. I say it every day. I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent, I'm a conspiratorian. I've invented my own party. So I follow conspiracies. Am I a Trump supporter? 1,000,000,000,000%. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And I have my reasons for that. But it's like, what makes someone become a troll on our streams? Dr. Lecter says, what makes a person a bully? Well, they're not even bullies. They're the person that would put a tack on their classmate, the girl they like that won't talk to them. They're the types that'll put a tack on their seat in school or something. They're not even bullies. I'm not intimidated or feel bullied or pushed around by trolls at all. At all. It's just like, they're just like, I can't even talk. They're like a certain kind of loser. And now they're starting to attack Raina, who's a devout Christian and one of the sweetest people I've ever watched on YouTube ever. They're starting to attack Raina. Give me a fucking break. What the hell's going on? Something's going on. I don't know what it is. Some people can't handle trolls. I handle them very well. You guys handle them. My moderators handle them very well. Because as I call you guys, you're fucking samurai ninjas. You guys handle the trolls very well. But personally, I don't mind if you don't, because I have no problem dealing with them myself. My face right into their doom, right over the camera, right on the live stream. I will deal with trolls no problem at all, at all. Especially the ones that I know very well, like Novus and Packy. And you know what sucks is Novus used to be cool. See, that's what confounds me. And my opening, again, this is going to be a very short stream, so my opening monologue is only going to go on another 2 minutes, and then we'll do another 13 minutes, and then we'll cut. But what sucks is Novus used to be friend. He used to be cool. He used to be cool. And then he like turned himself into a fucking troll. It's like, why? Why? What does that do for someone? You know? 5 watching, 3 likes. Thank you guys. I don't know. I'm having trouble figuring it out. Trolls make me lose my buzz. They don't make me lose my buzz, I can tell you that. Bill Clayton says, I got a few job leads, but I'm not even submitting anything until the end of next week. Nice. We like that. Better than me going on unemployment. Companies are terrible. Having a Beer has joined us. JB Ragin, Dr. Yo. Maybe they feel power. Maybe. But how do you have power in being just a cunt? You know what I mean? I know it's all guys in here, so I can say cunt. I mean, I'd say it anyway, but, you know, it is what it is. Novus is a mental case. Yeah. Yes. Raging Cajun says cheers. Dr. Lecter says hi, beer. Nice, Clayton. Best of luck to you, says having a beer. Zero Fox is giving off road. Our newest superstar. I keep saying that. What's up, Zero? Very short stream. Only another 12 minutes I'm going to be on. But anybody who's not liked and subscribed to Zero Fox is giving off road, he does an awesome show. So you got to make sure to get over there. Raging Cajun, Bill, good luck. Wife was canned after 23 years with Radio Shack because she was the highest paid district secretary. That's what happened to me. My company got rid of me because I was the highest paid in the company. And they trimmed down, and it's like, bye-bye. But I was the highest paid for a reason. I did the best job. Now they're outsourcing to China. How fun is that? China, as Trump would say. Zero Foxes says it's almost Pop-Top time. I don't know what that means. Is Pop-Top a food? I need some chicks in my stream. It's all dudes in here. Oh, Pop-Top time, as in pop the top. Okay, now I get it. See, I'm like really scientifically smart and linguistically smart, but I'm like really socially dumb. So I didn't even get what Pop-Top time meant. How dumb. Ugh. Thank you, Asperger's syndrome. Thank you, thimerosal vaccines when I was a newborn. Thank you, radiological pollution. Thank you, chemtrails. Thank you, public school system. Thank you for making me so socially stupid that I'm drinking a beer, and I didn't even know what Pop-Top meant. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you, New World Order. Thank you, Rockefellers. Thank you, Rothschilds. Thank you so much. Ah, you're just such wonderful people. Thank you, Bushes. Thank you, Clintons. Filth. Total filth. Thank you, garbage. Thank you, all you devil worshippers in the government. Oh, you guys are just such sweethearts. You and Hillary Clinton and fucking Elizabeth Warren and all of them. Thank you so much. You know, you just care so much about society and your citizenry and your voting blocks. Why don't you just walk into my garage right now, or the garage that I rent? Why don't you just walk into my garage right now and can you give me some more vaccines so I can just be like happy? You know, more dumbed down. Maybe you could do yourselves a favor, and I promise I'm gonna stop ranting and I'll take your comments and questions and then we'll end the show rapidly in about 11 minutes. Thank you so much for dumbing me down. Thank you so much. My IQ tests. Here's a story that I haven't told a lot of folks. I've only told, you know, ex-girlfriends and my family. And then I promise I'll stop ranting. Here's a little story that a lot of folks don't know. Is I'm the only person in the history of my middle school, which I will not say the name of, but I'm the only person in the history of the 7th grade and 8th grade to win the science fair first place. And I'm not bragging, I'm just trying to tell you guys a little bit about myself. Maybe it'll explain a little bit as to why I'm so weird, you know what I mean? I'm the only person in the history of the middle school I went to win first place in the science fair consecutively, 7th grade and 8th grade. I won both years, first place. Only one who's ever done that. Even now. Because I look up into that stuff. First year, in 7th grade, I took an incense stick and a propeller blade that I bought from a, you know, a local arts and crafts shop that I think is closed now. A propeller blade for a remote control airplane, put it on reverse to draw air up instead of draw air towards for propulsion, turned it reverse, cut a hole in a, in one of those, what the hell are they, what are those big, what are those giant, I don't even remember the terminology now. What are those giant, you know, water bubbler things? What the hell are they called? You know, the big containers? What the fuck are they called? Reconnecting, 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 reconnecting. Even though I have 100% connection, reconnecting. Fucking YouTube, man. I'm serious. I'm serious. I can't wait to move to twitch.tv and bring my audience with me. But anyway, I cut a hole in the top of it, I put the propeller on there, and I suspended an incense stick, lit it. You know, they let me do it. There were, you know, fire marshals there and stuff. It was a science fair, you know, science fair. And so the smoke basically made a perfect example of a tornado. And then behind it, I had a threefold display of what creates tornadoes, why some storms make tornadoes, why some don't, which a lot of people don't know, various different weather phenomenon and terminology. And I'm in 7th grade at this point. I'm in 7th grade, you know, pretty young, all right? So what I'm trying to say is I'm not like a stupid person, you know? This is my background. And I ended up winning first place. I got the trophy. It's back at my parents' house. Year number 2, I actually made the Northern Lights with, I will admit, my dad's help, only because, number 1, I didn't have a car, because I was in 8th grade. And number 2, I knew how to do it, but I needed help finding the right parts. So he helped me to that degree. But I put the fucker together. And what I did was I took basically one of those big block batteries from Radio Shack, and I connected, you know, just a simple red coiled wire, you know, copper inside of it, you know, took off the 2 ends, attached it to the battery, and then the only other extent that my dad helped me with that one was we had to go find some neon gas because we needed some inert gas, because you can't make the Northern Lights, which was my science experiment for the show, in in an open atmosphere environment. So I had to find some neon gas. And this is before the internet. This is back before online. So, phone books, big yellow phone books or whatever, we found a gas company. They sell all kinds of gases. And I ended up finding, this one place, it was like 2 towns over, that sold vials, airtight vials of all kinds of gases. And one of them happened to be neon. And neon is very effective when you're trying to create something such as the Northern Lights. So what I did, again, maybe with a little help in terms of technical or so I don't hurt myself or whatever, but I did it all myself, put 2 electrodes into either side of the vial, ran a current through the vial, and painted, I built it myself, just a cardboard box, with the tops, cut off, painted it black so you could see, because it wasn't that bright, so you could see, painted it black inside and out, put the vial inside of it, connected the battery, and voila, through that neon gas, boom, Northern Lights in a jar. Boom, Northern Lights in a fucking jar. 8th grade, 13 years old. First place again. So the reason I tell that story is that when I see all these trolls coming in, Novus and Packy and all the rest of them, I'm not exactly a stupid person. I'm not exactly stupid. And I've only gone on to become a musician and only gone on to become somebody who's become politically active and only gone on to become somebody who knows how to run a relatively successful live stream on YouTube, because this shit is not easy. Anybody who's ever tried it knows it's not easy. I just can't wait for Bill Clayton's stream. I'm going to be there every single day. In fact, if I'm not a moderator, I'll probably be Bill Clayton's biggest troll, to be honest with you. That's a joke. So I'm not exactly dumb, okay? But I make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. So when I see these trolls coming in, these fucking trolls, they come in left, they come in right, they appear out of nowhere, they track you, they follow you. Doesn't matter if you change your terminology, they find you. They find Raina, they find Bill Clayton, they find Jujubot, they find Harmony, they find Blackie, they find Harley Girl, they find Gramps. Because they have nothing better to do with their lives. Oh, I want to be a professional disruptor and say cunt, 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 nigger, nigger, nigger all day on someone's stream and wreck their friggin' stream. I mean, give me a break. These people are a friggin' joke. And like I said, I used to like Novus. I really did. I used to like Novus. Now I fucking hate his guts. Because he's just decided to go to the dark side. He's just decided to go to the dark side. Okay, I'm going to shut up, and I will take your comments. JB the Science Guy, yes. And also I had microscopes and telescopes. I used to tell a joke. This is for Raging Cajun, JB the Science Guy. I used to tell a joke. I tell it on dates, when I rarely go on dates. With women, by the way, not gay, with women. I used to make the joke that when all the other kids were messing around with footballs and baseballs, I was messing around with microscopes and telescopes. That's what I was doing. And reading books like A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, instead of Harry Potter or all that shit. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing. We called it a lava lamp and acid. I like that. Raging Cajun says LOL. They spend hours chasing people around online. Yes, they spend their whole day and night doing it. I don't know how. Sometimes I wonder if they're paid by... Someone else earlier suggested perhaps they're paid by YouTube. Because YouTube doesn't like all of us truth streamers popping up over and over. And the fact that we actually have audiences. Who the fuck has time for that? Exactly. Dr. Lecter says insane. Dr. Lecter says then. Dr. Lecter says, I see why the dates are few. Yes. Yes. That's fair. I have Asperger's syndrome. I prefer to be alone. I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I'm very scientific, and I'm a hardcore conspiracy theorist. Come fuck me, ladies. You know what I mean? I'll just be truthful about it. Who cares? I mean, I don't think I'm bad looking. I think I'm pretty good looking, actually. But it is what it is. The hell are you gonna do? Raging Cajun would have copied JB's homework. Yeah, I was a pretty good student when I tried. I was the student that would get straight A's or D's and F's, depending on how I felt that year. And to be honest with you, and I don't like to admit this kind of stuff over the internet, but I'll just, you guys know my life pretty well, depending on how much I was bullied, was how well I did in school. So if I had a year where for some reason I wasn't bullied, I mean, I'm 5'3" and I'm a friggin' nerd. I didn't have the glasses back then, but I've always pretty much looked the same. Depending on how much I was bullied was how well I did on my academics. So if I wasn't really bullied all that much, I would get like virtually straight A's. And if I was bullied a lot and I was depressed, and I didn't do, drugs or anything, I never got into that kind of stuff back then. And this is before I had guitars, by the way, and learned how to play drums and learned how to sing and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Hey there, blonde neighbor across the way. I hope you don't think I'm super weird. I do a live stream on YouTube, so I'm not being like a total psycho. I'm talking to my audience on my iPhone. Okay, good. There we go. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, good. So just had to take care of that little bit of business there. Just had to take care of that. You don't want... The last thing I need is more cops or ambulances showing up, you know what I mean? I don't need any more of that stuff. Kind of sick of it at this point, to be honest with you. So I just wanted to take care of that. They're new, I don't know them, so I just wanted to address that right up front. Where was I? Oh yeah, so the years that I was bullied, and I got all depressed, and I would go home, and I never, I was never a cutter or any of that stuff. I never turned into a goth, thank God. I never turned into a goth. But I was certainly depressed. I was very depressed. And the weird thing about it is that through all that period, I was always able to find girlfriends, which is crazy, And I wasn't known as like the class clown or the loser or anything like that. I was just kind of, kept to myself a little bit, because I didn't want to be fucking bothered. So I devoted myself to basically science and research and microbiology and microscopes and all that kind of stuff. And I did it very comfortably, and then one day, and I promise I'll shut up and I'll take your comments and questions. One day, because I was always obsessed with Nirvana, R.I.P. Kurt Cobain. One day, I, for Christmas, got a Fender Squier Stratocaster for Christmas. And I started learning how to play guitar. Self-taught. Just doing Smashing Pumpkins covers and Nirvana covers and shit like that. That's what I did. But then I joined the jazz band at high school, and believe it or not, I joined the marching band. Oh yeah, I had the cummerbund and the feathered hat and everything. I've done parades, I've done competitions, I did it all. Because we were A-star rated marching band. And I was one of 5 in the snare drum line. I played snare drum in marching band. I played guitar in jazz band, but then I quit because I don't really like playing jazz music. I like pop and rock, that's my thing. And rap, that's what I like. Not really into jazz. So I joined the jazz band, played guitar, I quit, and I joined the marching band and played snare drum. And I was in a line of 5 snare drummers. I was the shortest one, so they always put me in the center. Figure that, right? They always put me in the center because I was the shortest one, which makes me look like the leader of the snare drum corps, the drum corps. So I'm in the center. I did it for the next 3 years of high school. I quit the wrestling team. I was a wrestler. I was very good at wrestling. But I didn't want to shower naked with other dudes. And they made you shower naked after wrestling practice. And I just didn't want to shower. I mean, I'm not ashamed of, what's going on over there. But I just didn't want to shower naked with other dudes. I just didn't want to do it. So I quit. And I went from athletics into, marching band, snare drum corps, center. Did it for 3 years. We were very good. We won a lot of gold stars in competitions around the state and in other states where we were invited because the Wakefield Warrior why do I set alarms randomly? I don't understand. It scares the hell out of me. It's so loud. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, I'll finish up the story, then I'll shut up. So, marching band led me to meet a lot of friends. Even Asperger's JB, weird, nerdy Asperger's JB was able to meet a lot of friends. I met my, back in high school, long-term girlfriend there. You heard my voice crack because you can tell I still miss her. She was awesome. Will not say her name. So I met a lot of friends there, and, some of the marching band kids were total nerds, and they would end up, just going home and doing their math for school, so I didn't care much for homework, unless I really wanted to try, but that was, like I said, off and on. So I ran with the crew from marching band, who, our local football team, after playing the halftime show. Okay, so we're back. I have 99% connection right now, and my phone is always buffering and reconnecting. Go figure that one. What a fucking disgrace. Anyway. Yeah, so I met, a long-term girlfriend in marching band, and I was playing snare drum and this and that. And then I made friends with 4 other people who were also in marching band. One was another snare drummer who turned out to be an excellent Class A drummer. One was a trumpet player who turned out to also be a great vocalist. One played a mobile bass kind of mechanism that, didn't do the marching but was at the, the front and played bass. And then I recruited my best friend, who I haven't seen in, years. He got married and moved out to Westfield, who was a great guitar player, and we ended up forming a band. And I'd been in bands before, doing basically like Eve 6 covers. Remember Eve 6? Anyone remember Eve 6? I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rhymes, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. You know that band? And, Green Day and Nirvana covers and stuff. So I was in bands before. So I knew what the dynamics of being in a band was like. I was familiar with it. It was not alien to me. And, but this band became very serious. We started, our oldest was, at the time, was 17. Our 2 oldest were both 17, singer, bass player. Our drummer was 16, and both guitar players, myself and my friend John, were both 15. And there was a performance rule in Massachusetts at the time where you were allowed to, even though we were way under the age of 21, you're actually allowed to perform in bars as long as you get those big black X's. Anyone who's been a young musician knows about the big black X's when you play in bars. So as long as you get those big black X's on your hands, or maybe sometimes like a pink wristband or some other faggy kind of shit. They let you play in bars. So we started playing in bars, doing Deftones covers, doing Incubus covers. And we had like 3 or 4 original songs at that point. And we started gaining popularity with basically like older people, like people in their 40s, people at bars, you know, hanging out at the bar, right? I'll be right back. I don't know what it is. My neighbor, it has to be my neighbor from upstairs, good friend of mine. He left a handle of whiskey down in the garage. He must have been sitting in my chair, and he left it here. So I moved it away, but I am taking a few sips off of it. Just, what the fuck do I have to lose at this point, right? So anyway, so then we started playing shows, did a lot of high school shows, got relatively popular in high school. You know, girls started actually like kind of looking at me, made my girlfriend jealous. And then we broke up, and I actually ended up dating, you know, physically a more attractive girl. And then I went off to college, but I was able to maintain the band when I was in college. Even though I was in Salem, Massachusetts, and I had to go all the way back to Wakefield just for practice. I had a used 2000 Ford Taurus back then. So I would drive all the way back to Wakefield for band practice, would play. And then when we got, you know, when we got pretty big, it was 4 nights a week, sometimes 5 nights a week. So going to classes, doing drugs with my friends in the dorms, because I lived in the dorms at Salem State. So classes 4 to 5 days a week, shows 4 to 5 nights a week, usually on weekends were our big ones. And then we started to gain popularity, and then we started to make friends with other bands, and anybody who's a musician who's ever toured in a band knows exactly what this process is. I know Bill Clayton, if he's still here, knows what this process is. You start making friends with other bands, and those other bands help you get gigs, and then when you get a gig, you help them get a gig, so you start filling venues, you start filling out lineups. You know, you got an opener, you got someone who goes on after the opener, you've got the headliner, and then you've got the closer. And I did all of it. I've been the opener, I've been the closer, I've been everywhere in between. And I promise I'll read you guys' comments. And Bill Clayton is here. Bill Clayton knows exactly what that's like. You got the opener, you got the person after the opener, you've got the third person, you know, the usually the headliner, and then the one who closes out the show when everyone's getting drunk and leaving the show. You know, they go on last. The spot you want to be is spot number 3. Or if you're opening for a really big band, you want to be number 1. You want to be the first. Because that's when you sell a shit ton of CDs and t-shirts. Oh fuck, April Lejeune just went live again. So now I'm going to have to cut. I'm going to have to cut because one of my favorite YouTubers, April Lejeune, just went live, and I'm just ranting. I'm just ranting about my music past. So let me just say this. Thank you guys very much. 7 watching, 7 likes. 35-minute stream. I said it was going to be 15. We did 35. Okay. That's cool. But I have a lot of friends on YouTube, and I would be a very, and I don't mean to sound like a bitch, and I don't mean to sound like a crybaby, but I mean this. I mean this from the heart. I'm telling you. I would be a very, very lonely person without you guys. I would be I just got emotional. I would be a very lonely person without you guys. You know what I mean? Great conversations, and I promise, so I'm not going to cut yet. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read comments. and then I'll cut the stream. Bill Clayton, can you send me that link to your first band in Google Hangouts? When I click on links on YouTube, they don't work because I'm on an iPhone, and my iPhone is a piece of shit. So if you could go ahead and send me that, or I'll remember and I'll ask you again. Maybe email, we'll figure it out. I want to watch that. I wrote the music, singer wrote the lyrics. Very nice. I want to watch the fuck out of that shit. Dr. Lectress is very cool. Dr. Lectress says, I ran out and bought a Gibson EV3 when I saw Cream, which is an Eric Clapton fronted band. Who is Cream? Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce. Boom. I win. I win. Got home with it and thought, what the hell do I do now? Intimidating, huh? Yeah, back then bands... I'm ending my stream, but I'm going to read all your comments. I promised I'd read all the comments. Yeah, back then, bands helped each other out. Now they underbid each other into poverty. That's interesting. That shit wouldn't fly right by me, I can tell you that. I'd call them out in a second. I'll get in their lead singer's face and call him a cunt or a bitch. Maybe I'll get in a fist fight. My old Les Paul got stolen in 1986. My Fender Starburst custom Texas version standard American Stratocaster guitar, along with my entire pedal board and all of my monster cables, gold-plated, got stolen in 2005 from a gig. So I know what that's like. I know what that's like. Later, y'all. Have a great weekend. Peace out, Raging Cajun. Hopefully you're around during the weekend. Bill Clayton says, have a great weekend, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. Oh, I didn't even realize it was Memorial Day weekend. That's how out of it I am. All right, we're going to finish up here. We got Stephanie Medina joining us. I'm going to go move over to so just so everybody knows, April LaJeune. April LaJeune. I am going to damn, that FedEx truck scared the fuck out of me, man. I am going to move over to April LaJeune. But for those who don't know Sunshine very well, she comes from MMP Cody, double MP Cody, and he runs a music stream, and it's fantastic. I hang out there all the time. That's where Sunshine comes from. Dr. Lectress says, hello, Sunshine. Having a beer says, take care all. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. All right, I'm going to cut. And I'm gonna go over to April LaJeune. I hope to see some of you guys over there. LaJune. April LaJeune. I'm gonna go watch her stream. So we're gonna cut in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 shirt, 1. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Peace.